Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Or 5:15. You know, we're close enough on that. Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopp on here. Some of you have been watching our meteorologist Gabe May in the last few minutes, myself. We had a little technical difficulty getting us back on the Facebook, so we figured might as well restart the thing. Now, for some of you, you'll have seen some of this. For others of you, first time seeing us today, and we appreciate you for joining us here in the Room to Room Weather Center, Mississippi Live Weather at 5, on what has been largely a perfect day. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch us, but I am saying if you could take that phone that you're watching us on and walk outside for a few minutes this evening, whether it's now or whether it's an hour from now, probably should consider that. There are some spotty showers out there this evening, but for most of us, it is dry and as cool as an evening is going to be for a while because the heat is continuing to build. We expect that heat indices will be up in excess of 100 for most locations starting tomorrow, but certainly as we get into the weekend and by next week, we're probably back to heat advisory levels, which is what we expect out of August, which is what's been the treat that this week has been. There are better rain chances ahead. I can start making some arguments tomorrow, but it's really probably Sunday into next week. And even then, unfortunately, drought conditions are continuing to build. So we're 89 degrees, that temperature at 6. We're 80 as we look toward 9. A couple of showers out there, not many, not meaningful rainfall for most locations, but at least there's something. Maybe it's more to taunt us than anything else. 76 by midnight. We're 74 by 3 o'clock in the morning and down to 72 to begin the first part of tomorrow morning under what should be, again, south winds that have a little more of an easterly kick, bringing in more in the way of stickiness. The stickiness, not over the top, but we are looking at a difference there. 94 temperature feels like 104 in Rolling Fork, easily one of our hottest locations at this time with all those clouds fairly high up for the bottoms and small, a sign that we're mixing that moisture out and not producing any precipitation. Nothing there as high pressure is stronger in the western part of the state. 8 to 10 feels like 99. It's 91 degrees for the actual temperature. We do have a couple of those clouds starting to build up a little bit, a decent height on that, and the bottom's closer to the ground, so a sign that that's more likely to produce sprinkles, probably not much more than that. And then in Caledonia, we've had a few showers around. You could see one of those on the kind of right-hand part of the screen here as that one is trying to produce a little moisture, but most of these, while in a more fertile area, are rather unproductive. There's that one we were looking at a moment ago there between Caledonia and Hamilton, and it is tiny, really tiny. If I get right to the middle, I show the red on it, only what, 0.8 of a mile? It's about as small as anything we can kind of try to give you a diameter on here. So these are very, very small and more taunting us than anything else. You better be watering or at least having the hose ready to do some watering because otherwise this is not exactly a productive forecast in that regard. We do have some showers out here stretching from Reform back up there toward around Fayette, Alabama, and that green line represents what we call an outflow boundary. That's rain-cooled air kind of expanding back toward the north and west. And so that could try to bring a couple isolated showers for Fayette or for Millport or for Vernon. I just wouldn't be expecting much more than a few, similar to what we have up here closer to Red Bay, where we had kind of a spot in the middle there where we had just where there's one little storm to begin with, and as that collapsed, kicked out some rain-cooled air, we've had these other storms there. Storms may be overestimating it, but we show lightning strikes, about 71 on that batch there over the last hour or so. And then just some sprinkles up here towards Savannah, Tennessee, trying to expand southward. Maybe Corinth sprinkles up there, Pickwick Lake. Not expecting a whole lot more than that. So this is very, very localized amounts of precipitation that are, if you pick up 1/10 of an inch, you absolutely won the lottery. Because most of us Not even that. The wider shot here shows high pressure is largely the story across the region and the thing that is keeping us in the dry category. It is stronger out west out there toward Dallas. This kind of extends at multiple layers of the atmosphere. And so you'll notice there's almost no rainfall from West Mississippi through Arkansas, through Texas, back out there to practically New Mexico. So again, much stronger to the west. We're kind of in this area on the kind of east side where we have a few of these showers trying to roll in, but more of the active weather down in South Mississippi. So futurecast into this evening, kind of on the broad shot here, you see a few sprinkles, and we also have some up there towards St. Louis depicted here, trying to get close. The sprinkles we have, again, very isolated. I wouldn't be expecting much. So I think most of us, again, once you live on the Mississippi side here, not expecting a whole lot. But notice how these storms, if I just kind of put my hand right there in the northern part of the state, how they all kind of fall apart before they roll into our area. It's just a sign that that ridge back out there toward Arkansas is largely in control and protecting us, whether we want to be protected or not, from more meaningful rainfall. So over the next 24 hours, we're 72 at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, 81 by 9 a.m., and 89 degrees by noontime. Rain coverage, we're looking at only around 10% or so, meaning best case scenario, 90% of us are probably missing out on this. I know we need some rainfall. We'd like to be in the 90%. And while we do kind of switch those odds a little bit more as we head into this weekend, that 92, about as cool as any day gets going forward. We're looking at how high those temperatures build, when, of course, that means more heat advisories could be back, and those rain chances as Mississippi Live Weather at 5 continues here from the Room to Room Weather Center right after this.
For more than 100 years, First Choice Bank has provided dedicated community banking to North Mississippi. The banking products and services you need when you need them. At First Choice, you're our priority. Make First Choice your choice for banking.
Dijimos que nunca romperíamos la regla de los 3 segundos. Nunca haríamos esto. Y nunca nos convertiríamos en una mamá con minivan. Como padres decimos nunca sobre muchas cosas, pero los nunca a veces suceden. Así que, aunque digas que nunca dejarías a tu hijo en un auto caliente, es algo que puede suceder. Antes de alejarte del auto, siempre para, mira, cierra.
At Room to Room, did you know our specialty is custom ordered upholstery? Get the furniture you want and the fabric and color selection you want. With our free design service, we won't let you make a mistake.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Welcome back into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. We've had a phenomenal day across North Mississippi when it comes to the sky coverage. I mean, we've basically seen what we're seeing right here in the North Mississippi Storm Chaser camera there in Amory. 93 degrees, feels like 100, but a lot of blue skies showing up. Just going to highlight what should be a perfect forecast heading into this evening. But a few of those pop-up showers definitely trying to form, and we're seeing a lot of the activity out towards the Mississippi state line. So Edinburg still getting a lot of those blue skies. 90 feels like 97, but those puffy white cumulus clouds, if it catches the right updraft, it could definitely produce one of those light, or should I say brief, heavy downpours. Greenwood, 93 feels like 100, so it's going to be a hot and muggy forecast no matter where you're at as we're taking looks all across North Mississippi. And even down in Kosciuszko, 90 feels like 97. That humidity slowly but surely starting to make its presence felt once again, and presence felt in regards to that stickiness outside. If you've walked out the door this afternoon, you definitely know exactly what I'm talking about because you broke a sweat almost instantly. So looking at the almanac, is this normal this time of year? Because we know that we've been abnormally cool. Well, actually, we're still below average technically on our high temperatures. 92 today, whereas we're supposed to be about 93. We started today at 70. We're normally supposed to be at 72. Come this weekend, we'll definitely be at average, and come next week, we'll be above average. So I hope you enjoyed the cooler span while it was here, because all of that does start to shift heading into the extended forecast. Temperatures across the region, low to mid 90s, even at 5 o'clock. 95 Greenwood, Grenada, Belzona, Cleveland. 95 as far east as Bruce, Houston. 93 in Amory, 92 there towards Tupelo. Changing this from the last 24 hours, you can see a noticeable difference, anywhere from 3, 4, 5, even 6 degree temperature change. New Albany and Tupelo listed right there. So it's hotter, it's muggier, it's summer here in North Mississippi. So nothing out of the ordinary, but definitely feeling a noticeable difference as we head into our afternoon plans. Luckily, into our late afternoon, early evening, we have 86 around 6, 80 by 8. And we'll be dropping into the mid-70s closer to midnight, low 70s towards tomorrow morning. Like I said, right around that seasonable average heading into the start of our Friday. But looking at the forecast, Pops always told me that the best fishing weather is whenever those winds come out of the south. You can drop it in their mouth. That's the phrase that I learned. So as you can see right here, southeast at about 2 miles an hour, and this continue all throughout our evening. So if you can take advantage of the cooler temperatures as we head into our late afternoon, early evening, definitely get out to the pond and throw that lure in the water and see what you can get. Should be a good little forecast. And of course, if you catch anything, I want you to submit those pictures. Mississippi Live Weather, we want to showcase that. I always love a good fish picture. And I remember about 2 weeks ago, we got a picture of someone in the pond, and they were actually fishing while in the pond to stay cool. So there's your little life hack today of how to stay cool while fishing this evening. But Thursday, here's what we're seeing across the region. Those isolated chances that are primarily along the Alabama-Mississippi state line. 7 p.m., still seeing a few of those pop up. A few of those still on the heftier side in regards to heavy downpours and even a few rumbles of thunder. Not overly high on those chances. As you can see, a lot of those chances primarily along our Alabama counties. So northwest Alabama, be expecting a few of those pop-up showers, but North Mississippi, as Matt was talking about, make sure to get that hose out and start watering because we're not going to get any decent rain chances overnight. We do see this batch that tries to develop by 2 a.m. Not overly high on those rain chances. We typically don't get those overnight, but definitely could see a sprinkle here, a sprinkle there, but not nearly the coverage that this is forecasting on our we'll call it an optimistic model for that matter. But Friday morning, starting out on the drier side, once again, temperature-wise, right around our seasonable average. A few areas still trying to get down into the upper 60s. Bruce, 69. Hamilton, 69. The rest of us low to possibly even mid-70s. You see Greenville right around 74. The day continues on, and we'll see that mostly clear sky last all day long, so that sunshine will be shining and will be warming us up all day long. That cloud cover tries to build out of the southeast, and you can see these winds, blowing in that southeasterly winds, blowing in some of that Gulf moisture here to the area, which is warmer and also a little bit more humid and could produce a few isolated showers as well. So 10:30, still on the drier side and still just watching that cloud cover slowly but surely build into the area by noon. And that by the time we get towards early to mid-afternoon, that's where those chances start to come back into the forecast. Not overly high on those rain chances. I know some people are like, well, we want rain. Other people are like, well, we like the dry forecast. So depending on how you look at it, it could be a good or bad thing. But 3 p.m., that's where those chances start to re-enter, remaining right around 10% for our Friday afternoon and evening. So again, not overly high. And where it's not raining, it should still be a plentiful amount of sunshine, so all the more reason to get out and enjoy it. Friday evening, it's the weekend or the start of the weekend, so try and make some plans to get outside and enjoy it. Temperatures, of course, going to be warmer. We're on that warming trend. You can see a lot of 90s popping up with 96 Clarksdale, 97 Greenwood, 96 Belzona, and yes, 98 in and around Greenville. These models are really underwhelming at first whenever we look at those long track temperature forecasts. So we were showing 96 in Greenville yesterday. Well, the next day comes and we're seeing 98. So puts a little bit into perspective on what to expect going forward, and we'll walk through that with our Saturday temperatures and then beyond that point as well. Heat indices, triple digits, showcasing a lot more. 101 Grenada, 104 Clarksdale, and 103 Greenville. So it's going to be triple digits. Feels like values for a lot of locations out in the Delta. The rest of us feeling like the mid to upper 90s. So make sure to have that water bottle handy and be close to the AC because it's going to be another humid day. Friday evening, staying on the drier side once again, so any evening plans will be good to go. A perfect forecast for us. And overnight into our Saturday, we're staying on the drier side and mostly clear skies. Sunshine, once again, highlighting our Saturday forecast. So if you can't get out Friday, well, Saturday looks like a great forecast to do so as well. Showcasing a few of those pop-up showers once again. This model is usually a little bit more aggressive on some of those isolated showers, so take it with a grain of salt. Not really expecting too much rainfall for our Saturday. A few afternoon pop-ups can definitely be in place, but again, not overly high. We're mostly dry throughout the day. By 9 p.m., still seeing those mostly clear conditions, and that continues to be the case overnight and into our Sunday morning. Perfect weekend forecast, at least for the start of our weekend forecast. And we'll walk through that here in just a moment. Let's again touch on high temperatures. And like I just said, 96 Greenwood, 94 Cleveland, and 97 there towards Greenville. Expect that to be bumped up just a bit as we head into tomorrow's forecast on Mississippi Live Weather at 5, 6, and 10. Walking through those temperatures, and would not be surprised to see that closer to 100 than what it's at right now. 91 Amory, 92 Columbus, a few upper 80s still trying to pop up. Louisville, Hamilton, and Iuka on your Saturday afternoon, so should still be below average for some locations, but the rest of us going to be hot and going to be muggy. Heat indices, triple digits, showing up a lot more there in the Mississippi Delta, still mid to upper 90s for the rest of us. But the graphic that we've included, and this is on our website as well for any coaches or folks that are in charge of afternoon activities that are outside, take a look at the wet bulb globe temperature because it is starting to shift heading into our Friday afternoon. More of those high values, which is more of those dangerous values starting to pop up just a bit more in the Delta. Still moderate values along Oxford, Bruce, there towards Eupora, and then still low out there towards the Alabama state line. So take your benefits where you can, but those really start to build heading into our weekend. You see some of those more extreme values that are in Texas and Arkansas, those start to push a little bit more east towards next week, and so we're watching the potential for some extreme wet bulb globe temperatures for the start of next week. High temperatures you kind of see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, rising into 93, 94 territory, so it is going to be hot, and on top of that, it is going to be muggy. Some of those heat indices talking about triple digits for sure, but I would not be surprised to see a few of these values get all the way up to 105. So watching the potential for some heat advisories. Yes, they will be back into the forecast, but it's expected this time of year. We get those hot and muggy weather, those hot and muggy conditions all the time, so don't be surprised by that. The one saving grace we do have are those rain chances starting Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and lasting through Wednesday and Thursday. Still very isolated in nature, but we'll be walking through that in more detail tonight on Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Just what to expect with those rain chances. Is it going to be more on the isolated side? And just how impactful will they be? Will they help the drought monitor? Well, any drop of rain definitely does help. So we'll be walking through that forecast in more detail on the Mississippi Live Weather app, Mississippi Live Weather stream, however you want to watch it. And speaking of, this is the great way to watch it. Download our app today. It's free on the App Store on iOS and Android, and it can walk you through that forecast and, of course, see our live shows at 5, 6, and 10. We'll see you back here in just a few minutes to walk through the latest on those rain chances and what to expect for your weekend forecast as well. We'll see you back here in a couple of minutes.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.